Good morning, y'all. Today is July 26th. It's crazy to say, but I am at capacity for my car. There were some things I was just not able to get in. I have used all the vertical space this year because I had the produce craze, which has been great. So it's a good problem to have, that I'm producing that much that I can't put anything else in my car. So I'm here extra early today because people are starting to line up at 8 o'clock. Good morning, y'all. Today is July 27th. Currently in the garden ripping out a bunch of dead plants. It's primarily these little rich sweet melons I've picked. You know, a good handful. I don't know if you can see them all down there. I really wanted to get them to the farmer's market this week, but I just kind of ran out of time for this past week. But yeah, I just want to get all the dead plants out today, do a final planting on these, and then be done with vines for the year. I am really hoping for the best here because I've got a lot of nice size cantaloupe going. But unfortunately, this plant is dying. So one branch has died. It's kind of coming off of a main stem here, so it's this one that's going. I've tried only one other time just cutting that to see if it saves a plant, and it didn't. I don't know if it's worth trying again. Man, that's a bummer. On the bright side, we do have a nice second crop coming up. These are the cucumbers here in this row, so they're coming up. I basically had to replant this entire row here of the sweet melon, but the second half here is coming up nicely. And then over here we have cantaloupe, and as you can see, those are also popping up good. So, I mean, the cantaloupe, if you look down the line at least, they're not getting completely attacked, but those sweet melons just started dying like crazy. As far as the watermelon, I'm trying not to get too excited. As you can see, I just didn't get to that row. And they started growing a little too quick for me. But honestly, they're doing pretty good, really. I have seen a couple die, but it hasn't been substantial, so fingers crossed that we'll get something. This right here is just the classic red watermelon in here. I'm not seeing a ton of melons, but there are some in there. It's kind of hard to see in all that tall grass, but here's some good ones. It's decent size, and then that one back there is even bigger. There's one on the corner, which is the yellow watermelon. So that one's getting bigger, but we'll see. I'm gonna replant a couple that did die in this row, and then obviously the ones at the very end. For watermelon, it's probably too late to do anything, but might as well have something green growing out here. So we'll get that done, and then we'll start working on pumpkins. I'm gonna pull up more dead ones, replant one last time, and then we'll be done. I'm getting a lot of the pumpkins pulled up. Got the squash bugs in a cup. The leaves are still a little too dewy. You can see the moisture on there to really use any tape to get the eggs off. Honestly, tape is the fastest way to do it. So this pumpkin plant actually still looks good, surprisingly. I managed to get a couple pumpkins actually ripe, just the smaller variety. So we'll see. On this one, I was checking it out because it's kind of looking, I don't know, not so great on a few leaves, and I saw one leaf, so I picked it off because it looked like a boar got into it, and I can't believe it, but I actually caught it in time. I mean, there could be others in here, so I mean, it could still easily die, but it was this tiny little thing right there that had just gotten into that leaf and was starting to burrow in. Now the pumpkin next to it, where was it? I think it was right there. I pulled it up, threw it in the thing, and it was kind of spongy on the bottom. I was like, you know what? I should probably really get that whole base out because there's probably a nasty little borer that's gonna overwinter in there. Lo and behold, pulled it up, cracked it open, and look what was inside. He's running, big old fat juicy thing. So got 2 of them there. He was just about thinking he was home free, but he's gonna be chicken food. I spoke too soon, y'all. I thought I saved the plant, but as you can see, one already chewed through that main stem there, so it is a goner, unfortunately. So, oh well. At least I got, it looks like, a few pumpkins in there for the animals. Next plant over, we also have some evidence of vine borers getting right in there. But this is kind of interesting. We had a little clutch of eggs hatch. They don't look like the typical squash bug, but maybe they're just super freshly hatched. That's why they're still kind of red, but they're gonna go bye-bye. Just looked it up, and that does mean that they are super freshly hatched. So they'll turn that kind of off gray black color here in a little while, but yeah, they're just everywhere out here. But the good news is I have seen some adults that have just been laying around dead, so their season's slowing up. I've got several good looking loofahs. That's one of them. They are kind of spongy when you squeeze them, so I'm just gonna let these vine dry and then we'll pick them this fall, turn them into sponges. Working on getting the net moved for the chickens. Back here we're getting some nice growth on this ryegrass that the pigs have previously broken out and torn up this whole back area. So it's coming in. I might go ahead and put one more round down, but that'll be looking good here in a little while. Howdy y'all, today is July 28th. I am done with squash bugs on my pumpkins. I ripped up every last plant and I'm burning all of them. It's just getting a little crazy. That's a huge time sucker. I got some old egg cartons in there trying to keep it going because obviously it's pretty green. Smoking them out, they're dropping. I have eggs that are actually hatching, so there's tons of little squash bugs running around. It's just not worth the fight, so I'm just burning all of them. I do have some really small ones that are maybe the size of my hand that are going, but as far as all the large mature pumpkins, they were going to die anyway because the vine borers were all on them. So yeah, you can see some little bugs running. Got one down there, that's a baby squash bug. All the eggs. So many eggs in here. It's crazy. So they're all dying, they're all gone. Done with it. So now the question is, I no longer have any eggs in the pumpkin row. I no longer have any squash bugs in the pumpkin row. There's nothing in the pumpkin row. So am I gonna have more squash bugs elsewhere in the garden that, I don't know, took off somewhere else and came back, or gonna come back this evening? I don't know. But I think the pumpkins might also just be attracting the squash bugs too, so I don't know. We're gonna start with a clean slate for this final planting. I'm only planting things until the 31st, so a couple more days. And then we're gonna be done with the vines, but yeah. That feels good to just be done because that was a huge time sucker. I am going to check the rest of the garden because I do have squash bugs that sometimes will land on the corn, the cucuzzi. I see eggs in the cucumbers. So they're still in the garden, but they're just extremely prevalent in the pumpkins, and I'm done fighting it. So they're all burnt up. I'll replant it just to have something green growing. Pumpkins take a while, so I don't think I'll get anything out of them, but we'll see. So there's a look at the new pumpkin row. Really not much left in it. I have these tiny baby plants that are coming up. Of course, there were squash bug eggs on them. Picked them all off. Super manageable when they're that size. I've checked all around everything I have laying around. There are no squash bugs, no eggs. The ones I pulled up, I put tape so that way I can replant them. But this thing here, there's not a vine borer in it. It's just really bad looking, so I think the squash bugs probably just attacked it pretty hard. We'll give it a chance. There's no eggs or squash bugs on it. Checked it thoroughly. It's the only plant I really left. I pulled those up. I checked everything here. We actually did get some pumpkins, so I mean, it's not a huge success, but it's something. So yeah, I have some I need to replant. I am going to check around here. I didn't quite get to this half to check around the mulch bags to make sure there's no bugs hiding under them, but that is it for pumpkins. Oh, I did disturb this frog. I feel kind of bad. He was underneath one of the pumpkin plants that I just ripped up here. He was hanging out, so anyways, we'll look around here real quick. I do have some pumpkins that I planted last week starting to come up, which is great. Get a little bit of a chance of getting something, but yeah, pumpkins are a lot of work organically. The cantaloupe have definitely been attacked, but not terrible. There's still some dead and dying plants. Really just one more dying one. I'm actually really just holding out some hope here that a couple of these are gonna get just enough nutrients so I can get a cantaloupe off them, but they're getting attacked pretty hard. The sweet melons got attacked extremely hard. As you can see, there's really nothing left in the row there except some new babies that have come up. But I really probably just need to pull those out. They're all wilty and dying too. So watermelon, they've only killed 2. So honestly, I'm surprised considering they were right next to the pumpkins, how terrible it could have been with them right next to them. But I'm holding out some hope on these. I mean, that is pretty decent size in there. But I don't know. We'll see. Fingers are crossed. My weed patch there, maybe that's helping. I don't know. So anyway, the cucumbers are holding up for now. We're getting some that are looking a little dry and chewed on, but not bad. Got a lot more melons turning in there. They might actually make it to a farmer's market after all. I did figure out, can't remember if I told you, but you do actually have to cut it, scoop the seeds out, and then eat the flesh, not the skin. So yeah, you can see some of my cucumber leaves are getting a little crunchy and thin and old, but for the most part, they're still going super strong. And then the babies are coming up really nice down there. My peppers got hit really hard with the tomato hornworms, so they look pretty terrible at the moment. There's not too many leaves on them, but hopefully they'll perk back up. Not all of them were hit real hard. So, I mean, some are still good looking. The cucuzzi scares me. I feel like this is a ticking time bomb. I see squash bugs in there and I do get some eggs every now and then, but I just feel like the vine borers would really like it. You see nice big thick vines, but I don't know. They're producing really well right now, so fingers crossed on that. Let's see, what else in the garden? Beets are almost done. Radishes here, just waiting for seeds. Kale, the worms chewed it up, but kind of out of season anyway. Lettuce bolted. Didn't get any heads of lettuce out of it, but no big deal. I got that planted kind of late. That's my fault. I have some beans that came up, mostly because my snap peas decided they didn't want to come up, so I planted beans here instead. And they came up okay. We don't have any beans yet, so we'll see. The carrots, I can probably start pulling some up. Just haven't yet. Spinach, it's kind of a weed patch. It didn't do anything. Onions are done. I just need to pull what's left. The loofah's doing really well. Corn's doing really good. It's about, I don't know how tall it is. It's really tall. Let's go with about 8 foot. I don't really notice too many pests on the loofah, which is nice. The ants love it. Gnats love it. Flies love it. I see a squash bug every now and then, but I've never seen eggs or found them on there. They're mostly just relaxing in the loofah or the corn. Actually kind of reaching over to attach to the corn, so this is slowly turning unwalkable here. But the loofah's looking really good. I can't remember if I showed you what they look like. I have some hiding in here. Yeah, I think I did show you guys, but there's one in there, and they're kind of spongy. So I'm just gonna let those vine dry. Tomatoes are doing good. Hornworms haven't been terrible, which is nice. I already got some fun plans for next year. I'm really excited for, so we will see. It's a learning curve this year on some things, but it's been fun. My really short, pencil thin field corn is actually getting a few ears on it, so it's more than what I expected. It didn't really do too much. I ran the chickens through here 2 years ago, so I probably need to do it again. I do have some sunflowers that have started blooming. Those look pretty. Of course, they're facing the opposite direction here. Yeah, I remember I dug up that horseradish. It came back. I still have the part up by the barn I dug up. Probably should just replant it at this point. A rose of Sharon up here is blooming. This was given to me by a friend. It looks real pretty. But the sunflowers look real nice. Those are just pop-ups from last year because I had a bunch of sunflowers in here. And then my mom's side of the garden, tomatoes are getting a little unruly in this side, but over here not too bad yet. It's mostly just she hasn't strung them up just yet. More just finishing out this row. And then her row of peppers over here, looking better every day. Hers are getting hit by hornworms too. She has so many peppers, so that's exciting. And then I don't know what she has planned for the rest of this. I think it's more tomatoes though. Could be wrong, but she has a ton that are looking really good in there. It's my first time growing carrots this year, and I was just interested in what they look like, and they're coming along really nice. I could probably pick all of them at any point right now, but I'll wait a little longer. But it looks pretty tasty. I'm gonna wash it off and give it a try. Beautiful evening out. The light feels like that solar eclipse. It's kind of that weird reddish dark feel to it. It's really pretty though. I did get the pigs moved into this front section. All the grass just died. I don't know what happened there. It was kind of weird, so I'm giving them most of it. I want to see if they can level out where that old shelter was. Then I'll get them out of here and replant this. Hey, Stick. So there's a little bit of greenery in here that they're happily munching on. I haven't been moving them recently just because we've been getting so much rain and just giving that a little bit more time to rest. But it's not really too wet and muddy out here, so I'll probably start moving them again. But it'd be perfect to get them in here first, just so they can do a little bit of work. Stick's real friendly. He loves attention. Brick is on the fence, and then Straw is just a whiny butt. Besides burning all the pumpkins, I'm actually still kind of smoldering in the pit over there. I did do some weed eating. I put some more mulch down, moved some bricks and rocks and stuff. And we'll start planting some stuff here in the next few days. Getting close to putting some more carrots and kale and stuff like that in. So this is the last row of watermelon here. This is the only one that I didn't finish planting the row out. This is what I'm going to use for all the more fall stuff that I'm going to put in. But I figure there's not enough time anyway, and I already have another row of watermelon going, so I'll I'll have plenty. And this is what I started working on with the mulch. So I'll easily be able to finish this row, which is nice. And I just got a notification from the post office that my next batch of meat birds has shipped, so probably see them on Wednesday. Heard something kind of funny. I was in the garden, got up because there's a mosquito buzzing around me. I was about to start looking for hornworms, but I have these doors going down at 9:25 and it's currently 9:30. When I looked up, there was one door there, I could see a flashing red light and it was beeping. I want to just make sure everything's okay with it, and it went down. Ooh, it did not go down, you guys. Now, I do vaguely remember something in the manual saying if something was in the way, it would beep and flash for about 30 seconds. I don't know if it's gonna try again, but I'm gonna wait. I'm not gonna touch it because I'm gonna be here, and I just want to see if it'll go down on its own. Maybe there's a chicken trying to go in. There's nothing in the way of it, so I don't know what's going on, but it's about 6 minutes after when it was supposed to close. So we'll give it a little bit of time and see what happens. I'm grabbing the handy dandy manual here. So it's number 2 and 3, anti-pinch design. If a chicken was trying to go in, the door would bounce up, but it didn't bounce all the way up, and it would retry again in 10 seconds. Retry up to 3 times. And then for number 3 there, I heard beeping and I saw a red light, so I'm thinking it's number 3 that happened. But I was definitely out there for over 30 seconds and I didn't hear it continue to beep, so I don't know. Let's just head back out and see if it's closed yet. Well, the door is still open, so according to the manual, it sounds like it would try again about 11:30 to close, but let's just try it. Still got power, 21:30, 60:20. Okay, it's catching on something it doesn't like. I wonder how long that's been going on. It tried it again on its own. Still nothing. Okay, maybe I push the screen back a little bit. It should technically try again 2 more times, I think. Yeah. I don't like that. Alright, I'm gonna turn the flashlight on and try to fix this. I really just don't see anything in the way, so I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna grab a drill, take it off the coop, maybe clean out the gears a little bit, the little rollers on the door. I mean, even that looked fine. I checked it, so I'm not sure what's going on. Maybe even just loosening it on the coop so it's not so close. Maybe it's rubbing and setting off that sensor. I don't know, but just in case, I am going to plug in that extra solar door that I have yet to put on in that spare coop. So worst case scenario, I swap that out and hopefully we're good to go. I took the door off. Good news is it operates fine on its own, moving up and down. So it has to be something on the coop that it doesn't like. What? I don't know. But maybe it's just snugged up too tight. I'm gonna go look around the coop entrance and see if I see anything. And then I'll probably make some shims real quick and screw it back on. All right, y'all, moment of truth. Let's see if that works. Felt like if anything, I kind of pinched this one in maybe a bit hard. We're plenty far away from that screen now, so shouldn't be any issues. See if it closes. Okay, well, at least it closed. I think it did get a little tight there. Okay, feels better. Got a moth bugging me now. One more time, just make sure. Because this is about halfway is where it was starting to pinch. That seems fine. Okay, well, I'm happy with that. Feels good. There's just a tiny little gap. I'm not a huge fan because something could maybe get a claw under there and have a little more leverage, but not the end of the world. Got some good screws in there. If I can do this left-handed. There we go. It's on. All right, well. Oh, sorry, chickens. You guys need a light to get back up. No, can't really see through that screen. 2 chickens that went down. But, all right, that makes me feel better. Well, I am really happy that I happened to just get up and look out there, and for that little 10-second period that thing was flashing and beeping, happened to see it. So could have been bad if it didn't close and something got in there and got, 50 of my chickens. Even one's too bad. So that makes me feel good that that is fixed. So now let's check for hornworms. Howdy, yeah. Today is July 30th and the post office called and said my chicks are here. So they called me early enough, which is nice. I don't have to wait in line. I can just sneak around back, which I much prefer doing. So I'm gonna go pick them up. All right, so everybody arrived alive, which is always good. Usually pretty good with that. However, I do have some super tiny chicks. This little guy here, very small. There's a couple other super tiny ones. There's one over here. That little guy, super tiny. So hopefully they'll make it. Just so small. But anyways, they all look good. As far as the surprise chick, they finally didn't send me one of those Polish, so fingers crossed this surprise one makes it, because the past 2 haven't. This is my last batch of meat birds for the year. There's a chance I'll slip in one more batch, we'll see, but anyways, they're all set. I'm not gonna put a heat lamp up here either. It's gonna be so hot, they don't need it. Chicks are settled in. I've been washing eggs for quite some time. I only got 12 dozen done though, just time constraints. And then my computer decided to blow up about 2 a.m. It just started beeping, it wouldn't turn on, it did some weird stuff, so wasn't able to print out labels, invoices, things like that. So it's been a day. But anyway, I did wash some eggs. I got some over to the grocery store, so I have some to hold them over for now. But anyway, now I am out looking at the bees. Alright, so this was the final swarm that I caught. I never really followed up on these guys, but these are the ones that I caught, got stung by, and didn't think there was a queen in there, but lo and behold, there is a queen in there. So they're doing good. I just added a second box on there, so they're growing. However, they do have a small hive beetle problem. It's just a tiny little black beetle. I opened the cover, that top cover there, and I smashed about 15 of them. The bees had them cornered really good, so they were easy to hurry and kill, but I need to put a trap in there so the bees can actually get rid of those beetles. Pigs are fed. Chicks in here are looking pretty good. Can't really see. They're all running around. Got one asleep in the food. That one laying down looks pretty suspicious, but it is breathing. Better check that one out. Hi, chickies. Hey, are you just passed out? What's going on here? You stuck? It's one of my super tiny ones. Are you good? I don't know. This little guy is asleep in the food. Are you good? Hey. Are you good? Or are you dying? You good? Hey. Wake up. Wake up. Well, maybe just really sleepy. Because it is pretty toasty in here, but there's a lot running around. So I don't know. The chickens got out in the garden earlier. Knocked over my bug jar, which is fine. I got a few of my tomatoes, but nothing we can't recover from. I do need to do some work on the tomatoes as far as some more stringing, pruning, things of that nature. This loofah, if y'all remember, I was complaining about the germination rate and how sparse it was. Stuff is just going crazy, and there's only maybe 8 plants there. I can't really remember. I'd have to go back and look at some of my earlier videos, but it took off and it's doing really well. It was grabbing onto my tomatoes and the corn. I finally got everything under control, but looks kind of bad because I was pulling it off. Next up in the garden, I just tilled up that one patch where I'm going to put out some more seed down for spinach, lettuce, beets, radishes, kale, and carrots. The first thing we'll plant are the radishes. There's a chance we might get those at the farmer's market, but everything else is going to be well after. All right, we've got 25 feet planted here. So the first one we have radishes. Second patch is lettuce. Next over we have carrots. We're trying spinach again. Let's hope we have better luck. And then beets. I do want to plant some kale. I just only have literally 1 seed left, so got to get some more. It's currently 9:15, so those coop doors are going to go down in about 5 minutes. I want to check tonight, make sure that one that was given some issues goes down fine. I'm sure it will. But in the garden, the entire pumpkin row, this is all I got on squash bug eggs, so that's good. So now the question is, did they just run to other plants in the garden, or did I get most of them? I don't know. But anyways, the sunset tonight was right at 9 p.m. This is kind of a sad bit of trivia, but tonight was the last 9 o'clock sunset that we're gonna have for the year, which is a bummer. It's just getting dark earlier and earlier. But while I'm waiting for those doors to close, I'm going to plug in a light for the chicks out here, because it does get kind of chilly at night, so I think they'd probably like that. Hey piggies. I'm not bringing anything. They all perked up real quick. Gotta cover this fan up because we got a little storm coming here. Yeah, they're chirping in there like they're lost. Everybody should be up. Yeah, sleeping in the nesting boxes. I don't like that, but we'll deal with it for now. All right. Easy enough. So, I guess I spoke too soon. Did that trip out there? See if it just needs screwed in. Yeah. Ooh, that's hot. Okay. Anyways, almost easy enough, I guess. But I'm gonna grab the little babies over here out of the corner that are all huddled up, get them under the lamp, and then we should be good to go. This is actually kind of sketchy. Why did it go out? Bulb wasn't that loose. That corner would have been a really bad spot because it's gonna rain. They get cold and wet pretty quick. So I think I got most of them. You don't have any stragglers in the corners, around the straw bales. Looks like we are good, so. All right, chickies, should be taken care of now. Hey piggies, how you guys doing? Trampled this down pretty good. It's kind of dark and hard to see. Please don't touch that line. Hopefully, these doors are about to go down. Got another minute or two on them. The pigs did figure out the barrel. I never followed up on that one either. They also figured out that if they just sit there and hold that little thing, it'll drain out and make a mud pit. So you can't see the depth on the video right now, but it's a good size hole, so they've been enjoying that. But let's check on this door and make sure all is good. Not too much longer. It was actually supposed to be raining right now, but luckily that held off, so I have some time to look for worms in the garden. I never did say how many I got what was that, yesterday or 2 days ago. My mom got over 60. I lost count, but I've never seen hornworms that big on my peppers. It was like a snake. It was just long, thick, fat, some really big ones. As far as on my tomatoes, they were relatively small, more normal size ones. But man, there were a lot. I didn't count. I lost count halfway through because I was thinking of a million other things, but hopefully not as many tonight. My peppers didn't look as chewed up. Probably gonna have to start setting this back a little bit. It's getting pretty dark out. Alright, there's the problem door. And no problems. Cool. And last but not least, since I'm out here, might as well make sure that one goes down. Good night, chickens. I do have one bird that's probably not gonna make it till tomorrow. Not in this coop. She's an old lady. She's still eating and drinking, but she is walking super slow and just very feeble, frail old chicken. I figure she's probably on the ground because I wouldn't think she'd be able to get up on the roost. Wow, she must be on the roof somewhere. That's impressive. I'm gonna check that nesting box so back here, because sometimes, well, a lot of times chickens are hanging out in there, but generally wouldn't think at night. No, so yeah, she must have made it up on a roost. I'm impressed because she was walking pretty slow. All right, time to look for hornworms. It probably won't take too long to find one. I think I already see one in there. Gotta make sure I'm not stepping on my loofah. That's a dead one that I got yesterday. Also a dead one. What I've been doing lately is just cutting them in half when I see them. I used to grab them, put them in a cup, and it just took forever. Oh, here's a good one. Man, it doesn't show up very good. If I get the light off of it, you see how well he glows up in the dark. It's amazing. They pop out so easy. So, what I do is, I can see better through the camera than I can anywhere else. I just take these scissors here and cut him in half. And he's gone. A little quicker than using a cup and trying to grab him. All right, yeah, only got 6 hornworms. 1 was on the peppers, 5 on the tomatoes. Not bad. Howdy, yeah. Today is July 31st. It's kind of been off and on misting all day. It's pretty cloudy and overcast. The sun is just starting to peek out a little bit. But I'm just getting set up for my Thursday evening farmer's market. I gotta walk 1.5 miles for at least vendor parking, which is rather annoying, but is what it is. So gonna get set up. Hopefully it's a good day, but with the weather, I don't know if it's gonna be a good turnout. Thursday evenings generally aren't a good turnout anyways, but we'll see. Howdy y'all, today is August 1st, which I can't believe. This chicken right here, that was the one with the prolapse. She can't decide if she wants to sleep in the barn or go hang out with the little birds, so I don't know what to tell you, girl. She's been sleeping out there with them and not in the barn, so I don't know. But anyways, it's been a long day. I didn't do too much recording today because it's kind of nice having, you know, a phone not in my hand 24/7. I started the day off by making some bread for the farmer's market tomorrow and then washing eggs for about 4 hours. Ran some eggs over to the grocery store, came back, washed more eggs for the farmer's market tomorrow. Came to the farm, did chores, everybody's good, pigs, chickens, and whatnot. Did some work in the garden as far as picking everything. I had some people show up because it's Friday and the farm's open for a little bit. So yeah, it's been a really nice day, but I can't close the week out without saying a huge thank you to somebody who mailed me something. It was a hat, which is really neat. I do have some bad news, unfortunately. I'll show you the box. If I can do it one-handed. This is what it came like. You can see it is super crushed. I didn't do that. I just cut it right on the top, but the box is pretty well smashed. So unfortunately, the hat is not wearable. Show you though. It's a really nice hat. Really hard to do one-handed too. Put you down right there. Okay. So there it is. It's getting kind of dark out, but you can see it good enough there. It is a really nice hat, but I've actually been able to pop it up a little bit, but it is super dented down. It's not really wearable because it's so smashed. So unfortunately, it just got crushed really bad. I was able to pop it up halfway decent, but it's just really badly flattened. But thank you to whoever did mail it to me. Because it is badly damaged, I do want you to be able to get your money back. So email me at stewardsoftheland@gmail.com. So it's just the farm name @gmail.com. We can work something out and I can get this back to you so you can get your money back. It's a little big, but beautiful hat. So I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I really want to make sure you get your money back on that. So yeah, that's about it for this week. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. It's going to be a beautiful day. It's kind of chilly today. And you can see how tight I wear my hat. I've got a line going right there. It's so windy out here that I like these things really snug so they don't go anywhere in a stiff breeze. That way when I'm working, I don't have to worry about my hat flying off my head, so I make them super tight. Yeah, tomorrow's gonna be a lot of fun. I picked some more sweet melons, those little red striped yellow ones. So those will finally come to the farmer's market this weekend, so I'm excited for that. But I think that's pretty much a wrap for this week. Been a long week, but a good week, and I'm really looking forward to tomorrow. I forgot to mention, this thing was just smashed so flat that even this popped off. Like, it was pretty bad. I was trying to save it, but it's just, there's no pop in that bag. I think that chicken did decide to sleep in here tonight. Yeah, she's in there. Hey, girl. So I'll get this all closed up. I need this anyways. The folks that came today, one was a young girl, maybe 3 or so. I do have a new name for one of my roosters, that white, it's kind of salt and pepper looking. His name is now Twinkle. It's almost time to look for hornworms, so in the meantime, I'm going to start loading up.